Everybody, welcome to the big collab, the great cool project. Part 1 of a 4-part, yes, 4 series of videos. I'll be taking my own liberties, mixing together Long Halloween, Batman, I Am Bane, and a lot of other influences for this film. Taking the original script and also turning it on its head, so I have a lot of influences, and hopefully you guys enjoy. It's going to be a very bumpy ride, and it's going to be extremely interesting. It might be what you not expect. Trust me on that much. And also, you're going to love it. There's going to be tons of surprises in this one. So hopefully you guys enjoy. This is the biggest collab with tons of art, music, and tons of people helping to bring this vision to life. So show them some love in the comments, and they really did some amazing work on this project for Batman Unchained. What if Tim Burton directed Batman Unchained? The big collab project. There's a ton of knowledge and a lot of rumors for the supposed Batman Unchained. There was a title for calling it Batman Triumphant, and it was supposed to feature Nicolas Cage as Scarecrow. I can't remember the name of the actress, but she was supposed to play Harley Quinn, and it was supposed to be a very darker style movie, and, well, it didn't come to be. Well, that's what this project intends to fix. So, grab a seat, get some popcorn, and enjoy. Hopefully you guys enjoy this amazing collab project. What if Tim Burton directed Batman Unchained? Also, a big shout out to Channel Awesome's Fanscription series, which I will be leaving linked in the description, because this video will be continuing that universe and their version. They were a big inspiration for this, so yeah. Spin the tape and tell us what might have been. Hopefully you guys enjoy What If Tim Burton Directed Batman Unchained. The film opens with the now iconic WB logo with Danny Elfman music playing, but more of a very eerie, horror-centric tone. As the camera glides along, you make your way through a window into a university, but very eerie, full of shadows and like very narrow hallways, like a maze, something like out of a haunted mansion. As the camera glides along, you finally stop in an office. Fading in, it begins to get darker, but dimly lit, with more of a orange and yellow shading. You would see a figure working at a desk. Whatever he's working on has something to do with chemicals. You would see tons of chemicals as the camera would slowly drift around him. You wouldn't see the figure, because he would be cloaked in shadow, but he would be very tall, very skinny. You would get the feeling that he is a doctor, probably one that works at this university. He would feel like something out of Victor Frankenstein or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Whatever he's working on is extremely dangerous. He's not quite cracked it yet, and you can tell that by the eerie tones in the scene, and a slight screaming in the background. It's more apparent that he's been testing this on actual people, and judging by the sounds and screams you would hear, probably his own students. In the dim light of the scene, a silhouette of a scarecrow would appear, reflected from the light of the chemicals. As the camera would move away from the figure, it would move out the window, through the calm and almost eerie streets of Gotham. It would be fall. As the camera would move along, it would drift through buildings, through the roads, to a mansion on the hill, but different looking, almost rebuilt, refurnished. It would be Wayne Manor, or more specifically, the mansion of Bruce Wayne, but different in multiple ways. As the camera would move along, you would fade into Wayne Manor, getting a feel for the place as the camera would move through the hallways, and how different it would really feel. You would see pictures on the walls, and a lot of different things. As it would move into the study, through the clock on the wall, you would transition into the Batcave, as the camera would flow down the steps, and through the narrow passageways of the Batcave. As you would descend, you would go by the suits in cases in the Batcave, one of Batman, the other of the classic Robin suit by Mike Vitar, another more different Robin suit, a work-in-progress Robin suit, and one suit of Batgirl. As you would keep going and the camera would flow through more of the passageways of the Batcave, you would see more interesting sights. The giant penny, the giant dinosaur. It would look very refurnished, almost different looking than the previous times we've seen Tim Burton's Batcave, more like the classic comics. Then you would make your way through the trophy area, or at least it would feel like one. Display cases would go left to right. First, you would see the Joker's. You would see Jack Nicholson's flower and gun that he used to gun down Bruce's parents in the first Batman movie. Some other knickknacks like the Joker dollar bills, his chemical that he used to poison Gotham, and some newspaper headlines. As you move along to the next display case, seeing some knickknacks from the Penguin, Max Schreck, and the others would have other knickknacks from the previous films, along with newspaper headlines, clips, and you would be able to see what happened in the previous film and get an idea of some of the other villains that Batman has faced in the previous films. As the camera would move along, you would see other things in the cave. As it would move along to the Bat computer, you would see other things going on multiple screens, but only one stands out, and a figure would emerge. A shadowy silhouette of Batman with white eyes, as bats would swarm the camera, and it would read, Batman, Unchained.
You would follow Batman as he makes his way. You follow Batman as he makes his way away from the Bat computer and towards the Batmobile. He walks by a wall filled with newspapers and nails like different case files. One of them reads, Wayne Tech employee becomes mad as a hatter, builds a mind control device. Another reads, Mudman attacks Daggett Industries. It kind of looks like the newspaper and case files you would see from Batman Arkham Origins. As you follow Bruce, he makes his way to the car. As he's about to get in, Alfred would shout to Bruce, Bruce, not tonight. You know that Dick and Barbara's engagement party is tomorrow. You can't do this forever, Bruce. Bruce would respond, maybe not, but no one else will. If I have to face this burden alone, Dick and Barbara deserve to be happy. I've made this family of mine, but Gotham still needs Batman. But does Batman need Gotham? Alfred would respond, This city has taken so much from you, Bruce, but it's also given you so much. You can't keep torturing yourself. For every night you go out there, you lose more and more of yourself. You can only do so much for this city. You are a man, not an island. And a man's strength doesn't come from brawn and intelligence. It comes from his allies. And Dick, Barbara, me, Lucius, we are your family, Bruce. You need to stop doing this. You need to let us in and accept that. Don't add any more weight to the ones you carry. For every villain that you couldn't save, for every criminal that you couldn't stop. You need to eventually end this life, Bruce. Gotham might always need Batman, but it doesn't always need you to be Batman. Bruce would ponder Alfred's words, but would get in the Batmobile and roam out of the cave. As he makes his way through the streets of Gotham, it would cut to him stopping random criminals. But he would ponder Alfred's words and would think about some of the villains. You would see flashes of Jack Nicholson's Joker, Selena Kyle's Catwoman, Danny DeVito's Penguin, and others. Various scenes from the different movies would play, including Chip Schrack's Blight, and others. Bruce would ponder Alfred's words, but he would still get in the Batmobile and drive throughout Gotham. He would stop and fight criminals. He would cut and see multiple fights with Batman fighting criminals. As he would ponder Alfred's words and also think back on a lot of the different villains throughout the different movies, like Joker, Two-Face, Catwoman, Blight, Riddler, Penguin, Chip Schrack, and others. He would fight and drive throughout the different parts of Gotham, taking down criminals wherever he could. Finally, he would rest on a rooftop, and a voice would ring out. Dick Grayson, played by Mike Vitar. Still lurking around on rooftops, eh, Bruce? Bruce would obviously be annoyed, but almost relieved to see Dick. But he would immediately go to the more Batman and fatherly persona. What are you doing here, Dick? Shouldn't you be at Gotham University doing your ACTs and other stuff that you need to graduate? And plus, shouldn't you also be with Barb? Dick would obviously be annoyed, but he would respond to Bruce. I would be if you wouldn't be acting so strange lately. And Barb's doing fine, thanks. Most of the time we're in similar classes, and she's doing amazing. And we're actually happy together. I'm actually thinking about, well, Dick would obviously not say, but Bruce could figure it out. You're thinking about proposing, aren't you? Little early for that, don't you think? Dick would obviously be a little annoyed, but he would say, yeah, I know. But she's amazing. How could I not? She's not just an amazing vigilante as Batgirl, but she's a whiz with computers. A lot better than I am. I can tell you that much, Bruce, Dick would say. But, to be honest, Alfred's worried about you. You've been acting stranger than usual. What's going on? I know ever since I've kind of stopped being Robin and took up my own mantle, you've been acting a little strange and weirder than usual. What's going on? I'm tired, Dick, of this life. I can't give it up, but I'm tired of it. I want to be done with Batman. I want to be done with it all, but I can't. And I refuse to give you this mantle. You've become your own, and I'm proud of you for that, Bruce would say. But someone has to replace me some way, somehow.
But Gotham needs a symbol. You could be that symbol, but sometimes I think that Gotham might always need a Batman. I'm getting older, Dick. I can't do this forever, and I don't think Alfred wants me to do it forever. And you're happy, and I'm so proud of you. You're an amazing partner, and an even greater adoptive son, Bruce would say, with a tinge of pride in his voice. But he would turn away and sigh, but I can't anymore. I need to end this. I need to be Bruce Wayne more than Batman. Dick would slowly approach Bruce from behind and pat him on the shoulder. Bruce, you know I'm always here. I'm never going anywhere. I don't have to be Batman or have to be Nightwing to be here for you. You're my dad. Bruce would respond, I almost lost you once. I almost lost Alfred. When Freeze attacked, those months trying to get you both back, it was terrifying. For the first moment in my life, I felt vulnerable again. After my parents died, I could have lost to you. I know I was difficult on you back then, but I'm proud of the man you've become, and I'm proud that you're happy. But Dick would cut Bruce off. But you don't want to feel that vulnerability. I know. Because you're Batman, he would say sarcastically, making a face. Flicking Bruce on the head. Guess what? I'm Nightwing. Cool name, I know. I chose it myself, he would say sarcastically. And Bruce would look a little bit annoyed, but Dick would be obviously trying to lighten the mood. You know, maybe it's time we change of pace. Why don't we go and take those guys out down there? Get our minds off things. $20 says I can take out more than you, Bruce. Bruce would have a slight smile on his face. He would leap off the building, gliding down to take out the criminals about to rob a store. Head start as usual, Bruce, Dick would say sarcastically to himself as he would leap off the building. The camera would flash between the different fights, similar to the Adam West cartoon show back in the day, but without the pow and the bop. As one of the punches lands, the camera would slowly fade away, and you would be in a darkened area. The same spot you were at in the beginning of the film, with a shadowy figure working on something. But now it's finished. The figure would slowly be revealed out of the light. This figure is Dr. Jonathan Crane, played in this version by Nicolas Cage, with a more sleeker, more almost Snape-like look on his face from Harry Potter, but before Harry Potter movies even were out. He would slowly approach the computer after finishing the vial, but he would first test it on a rat in the cage. Seeing that the rat's eyes would dilate and looked almost terrified as it would shriek and make very eerily noises in a cage, he would smile with this very eerie, almost creepy look on his face. He would type into a computer, sending a message to a Dr. Woodrow. I did it. Thank you. Your contributions to my research with your plants from your lovely research from the botanical research you do is very beneficial to me. And it's just well worth it. Thank you, Doctor. I hope to see you soon. He would type. A Dr. Woodrow would respond, but it wouldn't be Dr. Woodrow on the computer. It would be Dr. Isley, his assistant. Dr. Woodrow is busy with his own research at the moment, but I'm sure he will appreciate your thank you, Mr. Crane. Of course, Dr. Crane would look a little bit annoyed, but he would obviously respond respectfully to Dr. Isley, and he would walk away from the computer, walking to his desk to hold up the chemical vial of fear toxin. Looking at something in a case, he would slowly walk to it. Opening the case, you would see a scarecrow mask. It's time to show those fools what fear truly is. My first order of business, it'll be to test my little experiment. It's time to show some, well, old childhood acquaintances the true meaning of fear. But first, a mouse is one thing. Let's test it out on another human. Good thing I have plenty of test subjects. Dr. Crane would walk to a cell. A student would be in it, but they would be very nervous, scared even. It would be a female student. She'd be crying, almost wanting him to stop. But he would put on the mask. And as she would be a little bit freaked out, he would dose her with something. And then she would scream. She would cry. And it would flash to her perspective, and what she would see is terrifying. As the camera would switch to her perspective more, the world would almost shake. The walls would tumble in on themselves. The color would be distorted. She would be screaming, "Scarecrow! Scarecrow! Get away!" Get away! As Crane would sedate her, he would take off the mask and smile in smug glee. It works. Good. Now it's time to truly test it. And I know just the right person to test it on. As he would look at a photo from his childhood class, it would zoom in on a particular person, and it would cut to that particular person at Gotham General Bank. He's a manager there. Crane obviously has some scores to settle. It would cut to Gotham University. Now, from Dick's perspective, he would be in, funny enough, Dr. Jonathan Crane's class. He would be teaching psychology, along with Barb. They would actually be there together. Jonathan would point to Barb for one of the questions he just asked. Barb would repeat the question and answer it almost immediately. The question revolving around fear and phobias, because Jonathan's class would be more on psychosis in that regard when it comes to psychology. And obviously, Barb would have answered it like that. But after answering the question, the door burst open, and the dean of the college would immediately tell Crane that he needs to talk to him now. He would look at the class and say, "I'm sorry, but class is canceled. We need to have a talk, Jonathan," he would say very sternly and very aggravated. "Now, my office." Thank you to everybody who has watched part 1 of a multiple part series of what if Tim Burton directed Batman Unchained. Also, big credit to some of the art. I did use a lot of screenshots off of Google, and if you guys are excited for more, please let me know down in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you had any criticisms and any of that, please let me know down in the comments. And yeah, peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.